Hi guys, I'm doing a video and I'm also taking a look at my notes because I want to make sure I pronounce my words correctly, and at the same time I want to make sure the caption it right. So this video is about being black and deaf and how these two identities overlap with each other for me as when I was growing up. So being black in the deaf world is not easy because the deaf world is often tied with the white communities. And in the white communities, we have white teachers, white interpreters, and white counselors, and that support services is kind of a limit for a deaf black person. And then also in the deaf community, there's this forefather for parents, forefathers for mothers, and forefather was Thomas Gallagher, and foremother was mostly Helen Keller. And they were teachers. They were teachers that taught in the deaf community to make sure they got the equal educational access they needed. And ASL has grown across America. So with the ASL and the development of ASL, it was mostly given to white children because most of the black children were basically slaves and they wouldn't really get that much around education until a little later on in the century. But right now, today in this society, black children are known as a poster child for the deaf community. If you go look on some certain website, you'll see black kids happy, smiling, like a little girl saying, "I love you." And basically, they love you. They love you when you're little, but when you grow up, you're like, fuck off. So, that's because they, in reality, they don't want people to know that there is a problem with racism that they have not dealt with yet, and they're often behind in that issue because the deaf community are focusing on making sure they get on the access they need for everybody. But basically, the access is really going to the white privilege first, because the white privilege, part of their history, they get all their needs from their teachers, their counselors, their interpreters, and a large pool of them are white. So as I was growing up in school, I only had one black teacher, and that was in the kindergarten. First grade, I only had one black teacher. And second grade all the way to kindergarten has been a challenge for me. And the reason why that was a big challenge for me was because I was fighting for equality in education. And at that time, my parents did not understand the struggle that I was going through. They didn't see me as a black person. They saw me as a deaf person. So they thought that all should be fine. But I feel choice that my parents are going through, and what my family talks about a lot at family reunions and everything. So I learned a lot about the black culture, and that black culture, I wasn't seeing that in the deaf culture. So my parents could not understand why I was doing this, why I wanted to mainstream in school. I wanted to be equal with the hearing students. That was the first thing. And the second thing is I knew that they were learning about other things much more than about our staff. But when you're in a deaf classroom, they spend a lot of time focusing on you, making sure that you understand the teacher, but not the resources and what is actually learning. You want to make sure you understand what they're saying in sign language, and that will qualify you as to be part of their community. At the same time, if you do it their way, they'll start considering you. They will scrap your whiteness with them and removing your identity. And that was just a big struggle for me. I would never want to remove my identity. It doesn't make any sense. I came from where I came from. And that's what I wanted to say. But at the same time, to see these pictures of Helen Keller and Thomas Gallagher, you can understand that they were forefathers and foremothers of the deaf community. And they were taught in classroom by white teacher. Over the years, I have grown to teacher, counselor, interpreter, and at that time, it's very less support for the black students. So, and then there's this generation that have been there for so long, that's Thomas Gallagher organization, and I did an organization and SRTA, which is American Sign Language Teachers Association, which continues to carry that tradition of the ASR history with Thomas Gallagher and Helen Keller. So that's the thing that beginning to understand. There's a little bit of knowingness in the deaf community. They didn't understand that there are cultures coming from all over the world who are not part of that whiteness culture. And today it has changed to a lot of different other cultures. So they really need to expand the sources of providing accessibility to all cultures and not just the culture of the forefather and the foremother in the deaf community.